I'm going to be sharing a couple of simple points about the 80-20 rule, and I hope that you find these helpful. My name is Stephen Cotterill, and I'm very interested in the business of photography and supporting those people who work within the industry. So right up front, I would like to invite you to consider this choice right now. Choice 1, carry on as you are. For some of you, that probably means giving 110%, working all hours, burning the midnight oil, and spending a lot of time, energy and angst striving for perfection. The other choice is to open the box. And my job today is to persuade you to open the box. The first choice is predictable because, as Einstein put it, the definition of insanity is continuing to do the same thing over and over and then expecting different results. And I'm assuming we don't want to become more insane than we already are, so let's do things differently. And we start doing things differently by thinking differently, and that is in the box. So let's open that now, and you will not be surprised to see that it contains the 80-20 rule. And without too much of a groan, I'd like to suggest that this is the star thought to help us change our behaviour. So I'm about to draw a graph, and that's what that line represents. But before I do, here is the 80-20 rule stated in one of its many versions. 20% of your effort always produces 80% of your results. To put that onto a graph or a chart, consider effort along the bottom and results on the left-hand side, and splitting that into chunks of 20, 80 and 100%. So by applying the 80-20 rule, we'll get a line that looks like this. But of course, that's not the point. If we've already said that 20% of your effort produces 80% of your results, or 1/5 of your time produces 4/5 of your outcome, that's not where we're focusing today. Instead, we're going to focus on the red line that runs from 80% of results and appears to go towards 100% of your results. In fact, it will never reach there. That level of perfection does not exist in the real business world, and therefore that red line represents danger for you. So every time you put in more than 20% effort, you're going to get disproportionately less return for that effort, and also, I have to say, disproportionately less appreciation from your clients. So the 80% additional effort produces less than 20% improvement. So sadly, no matter how hard you try, you'll never get to 100%. So may I suggest that you try this thinking for yourself for 1 week very soon and see how it adds up for you. So on day 1, consciously think, I'm going to focus 20% of my efforts on a particular project or task or job. And then as you expend that effort, you start to see the results build. And of course, you get 80% of what you were expecting. The next day, the same thing. Day 3, the same thing. Day 4, we've already got 320% of our 100% expected results, because had we used the old model, we'd still be working on the same project and we wouldn't have reached 100%. So guess what happens on day 5? You have time for the other possibilities. You have time to do what you want to do. You have time to invest more in your business. You have time to invest more in yourself through training. You have time to have conversations with your family. You have time to have conversations with your clients. But while you're considering those possibilities for you, and I'm sure your imagination is much greater than mine, I'd like you to consider one additional point. So back to the chart that we're already familiar with, and the structure of it and the results line for you with this new thinking. For those of your competitors who have not had the benefit of thinking like this, what if your 80% line is the same as their 100% line, which means that their 80% line is considerably lower than you? And as you can see from the yellow line on the chart, already you're winning after very little effort. So when your 80% is the same as your competitors' 100%, what could you do with that thinking? How will you behave differently? There are no fixed answers to this. I'm just encouraging you to think differently because I guarantee you will behave differently. Well, that's it for now. So if you have any other tips you'd like to hear about or share, then please make contact. If I don't know the answer or can't find the answer, I'm sure between us we'll be able to discover it. Thank you for your time. This has been a bit tricky for me to do this. It's the first time I've recorded a screencast like this. And finally, I'd just like to thank Christina Rossi for producing this fantastic portrait of me.